Go gaan hoor nou. It's fine, careful, it's in clear.
Hello everyone, welcome. So we are going to start soon. While we give it a minute or two, let me know where you're tuning in from. So I'm Henri, so give me your name and where you are. So I'm Henri, I'm living in the Netherlands, I'm South African. Let me know. Let's see. This is obviously a northern hemisphere problem, but the sun is literally in my eyes in this moment. What a blessing. Okay, so those of you that's still joining, let me know your name and where you're tuning in from. Okay, so Ria is from Centurion in South Africa. Welcome. Natasha from Mossel Bay in South Africa. Beautiful. Welcome everyone. I'm really super excited, and yes, we will start shortly. For those of you that are here with me, you're welcome to also let me know in one word, yes, what you're feeling in this moment, or your intention for the day. A sentence or a word will do, and then we will start. And also grab a notebook and pen if you like. If you want to make some notes, you can get some water to stay hydrated, or get a cup of tea. Okay, Ulrika also from Pretoria. So yes, Pretoria is, or South Africa is representing. And then Anna from the Netherlands, welcome. Yeah, Anna, let me know that she's going for a walk while listening. That's awesome. Moving while listening, great. Okay, then Nelia is from Alberta, Canada. Fort McMurray, cool. Okay, so all over the world. Again, I know a couple of people did let me know that they can't join live, and that's totally cool. You will all receive the recording also afterwards, so you are welcome to, yes, watch it again if you like. So before we start, I also just want you to know there's nothing to sell today, so you can put away your credit cards. This is a value-packed workshop, so I really wanted to give you some tools that you can start incorporating from day one, right? And so for those of you that don't know me, well, firstly, welcome to the workshop, how to finally lose weight and feel lighter without diet, restriction, and punishment. So I'm Henri, also known as Anna Van Heel, and yes, I am an intuitive health coach, and I've been helping women feel lighter since 2012. So my story didn't start there or in a lecture room. It actually started way back when I was still a little girl, and seeing my mom. And this is also, I think, if you can relate to this, let me know in the chat box, because what happened was my mother was always in a battle with her body and her health, and she always tried her best. She's a medical doctor. She tried her best. She gave us healthy foods. She really did do her part in raising us in a healthy way, which is great, and kudos to her. But there was always this quiet battle with food for her, and she would always weigh herself. She would always be, her mood will always fluctuate based on her weight and how she was feeling. And she would sometimes eat a lot and then sometimes nothing, that all or nothing cycle that many of us know. And also the restriction cycle, so eating very little but then binge eating or emotional eating and stress eating later. So this was what I saw as a child, right? And although, as I mentioned, she tried her best, there was this quiet belief running in our house, the one that says you're not good enough, weight loss is hard, looking after yourself and your health takes hard work and a lot of energy. And yes, this was the reality for me. And what I want to mention here is that this belief or these beliefs were quietly inherited by me as well. So even though she tried her best, this was a reality for me. And I've actually noticed it since a young age. And this, I believe, sparked the interest for me to go into the scientific field where I then studied all I could about the body, right? I did physiology mainly, and then I also did psychology and genetics. So I really understood the genetic and inherited components of how this works and how weight loss works and the body works on all levels, right? But after a while, it shifted and I felt stuck because it's still, I've been helping people since 2012, but there came times where some people really struggled and I wanted to know more. And this is when I then went deeper into the emotional health and also energy healing, where I then became a Reiki practitioner and master as well. So that's just a little bit about me, but let me know in the chat box if you can relate. You can just say yes, you can just literally comment yes, or maybe it's not generational for you. Maybe it's a different story, but you still have that belief of not enough. So you can either say generational or belief. Let me know so that I can see if you can relate to that as well. Because of course we all have our own stories and we all have our own beliefs and chatter in our mind, if I can put it like that. Okay, beautiful. Natasha says generational. Nelia, generational. Oh, Karia also says generational. Okay, beautiful. I didn't even plan this. Okay, so yes, that's just a little bit about me. So it became my mission to help people holistically and to help women feel lighter on all levels. So not just on body level, but also mental, emotional, and energy level as well. So this is really my purpose and passion in life. And I'm so happy that all of you are here. A special thank you to everyone joining live, and for the rest of you watching the recording, awesome, and thank you for saying yes. So I'm going to share with you my 3 key shifts that I take people through. I generally do this in 90 days, so I can't do it in 90 minutes, all of it, but I want to give you the framework and the main key 3 shifts that you can work with some practical tools and tips so that you can start from today. And if you've been in my world for a while, I always say, knowledge is great, but implementation is where change and transformation happens. So write down what calls to you. You don't have to do everything. Pop down what you feel, oh yes, this makes me excited, and start with that. And of course, you're welcome to leave me some comments in the chat box. I'm going to leave time for questions and answers at the end as well. So you're welcome to write down your questions as we go, and please interact. Like, make it like this is for you. This is a valuable workshop just for you. So use my knowledge while you can and my coaching and experience. And yes, and then the last thing I want to mention is if you stay till the end, and for everybody signing up, I really have a super special gift coming your way, and I don't generally do that at all. So yes, it's just a special thank you for being here and spending your time and energy with me. Okay, so just one more thing is my wildly inspirational goal. So what I really want to reach by 2031 is to help 1 million people, and women specifically, to improve their energy, health, and happiness, right? And doing this holistically. So I help you do this with practical tools to help you nourish, move, and heal into your lighter life. And sorry, I just want to see there are a few people that want to join. Great. So yes, for everyone joining in live, welcome, welcome. And I want to actually start by saying that it's not your fault, because if you look at how the system is set up, and I've been in this industry since 2012, it really is not your fault that you've been struggling, because the system was never designed to help you succeed long term. And I can say this with love in my heart. And I'm not saying this is the case with everyone. Of course, you get wonderful coaches and people out there following their passion and really, supporting you on your journey. And this is what I do as well, of course. But I'm talking about the whole diet culture, because the diet culture gave us food rules, but it never looked at our stress and our emotions and our complete life and our lifestyle and personality, right? So you can agree with me. I know many of you, thank you also for sharing your stories on WhatsApp. I love reading all of them, and also your journey so far, because it really gave me such a confirmation of what I'm going to share today. So it really is on point with most of you. So that was really exciting to see as well. But also the thing is, the fitness industry also profits, right? If they keep you stuck in the cycle, the cycle of you start working out, you feel motivated, you get started, and then you give up because it becomes too hard. Am I right? So tell me yes if you agree, if this is you. So you can say diet or food, or fitness, move, if you like. Let me hear, let me see who's here for what. So the whole point I want to share with you in this is that your body actually hasn't been working against you. What it's been doing perfectly well is helping you manage and coping with stress and chronic stress. So it's been doing its job, and many of you actually told me that stress is a major thing for you. Many of you shared that. And of course, stress looks different for all of us. So for some of you, you're going through what you've shared, really trauma and emotional things with relationships in your life. People that are sick, for example. For some of you, it's work stress. For some of you, it's being a mom, or having your own business, or both. So our stressors are different. But the point is that it's not your fault that you've been struggling. And I really want you to know that also it's not a willpower problem. So a lot of people think, I'm a failure, I never stick to anything, I can't, it's just, I'm just not lucky, or it's not meant for me, or it's in my genes. And I have the genetic background. You are not a victim of your genes. So yes, that means you do have a predisposition, but it doesn't mean that it's inevitable. And I'm living proof of that as well. Okay, so let's get on with it. How's everyone feeling? Let me know in the comment section. I want to see. All right. So what is the problem then? So I want to actually encourage you, what if you finally had all three pieces to this puzzle? Because it's not a willpower problem. It's a missing pieces to the puzzle problem. And real lasting weight loss doesn't come from doing more and pushing harder. And that's where I started in 2012. I pushed people hard, I was like super strict with them as well, and encouraging them to do more and more and more. But that's not the solution. So it actually comes from working with your body, not against it. And this is when you realize, and this is the beauty that I've seen so many times, so many transformations that my clients have gone through. And this is when you nourish, move, and heal together, this beautiful blend, everything starts to shift and everything becomes easier and more consistent. And that's exactly what the 3 shifts are designed to do. Okay, so tell me a little bit, how are you feeling? Cornelia saying excited to listen to the tools. Yay, I'm happy to hear that. But yes, can you relate? You can just say yes if you can relate to what I'm sharing about, feeling that you're in the cycle. You always feel, you start, you feel motivated, you have the next diet or the next thing that works and the next magic pill and the next whatever it is, fill in the dots. But you keep feeling that you're falling off the wagon and then you feel like failure. Absolutely. Yes, I can totally relate. Amazing. Yes. Okay. Good. So this then brings me to the 3 shifts. And I would love for you to also share, let me know which one applies to you. Okay. So this is the Light to You method, and this is what I developed since 2012, putting everything together, you know, holistically looking at mind, body, emotions, and energy, and helping you feel light on all levels. Because let's get real, it's not just about the weight loss. Yes, this is what we see and that's what we want to do, but it's also about the emotions. It's also about your mind. If your mind keeps self-sabotaging, all the addictions coming up for you all the time that causes you to fail, right, or feel like a failure, you know, you want to feel lighter on all levels. And yes, so these are the main 3 shifts that we'll be looking at today. So we're going deeper today. I love going deeper. That's also my coaching style, because I think my superpower is seeing patterns, right? So also when I go through a 90-day journey with people, I can quickly see where we start, because otherwise you may be stuck at Nourish. You start with a diet or eating plan, and you keep going, and then another diet, and then another diet, and then you think the problem is I haven't found the right diet yet. Okay, who's that? Let me know. I want to hear. So you can say 1 if this is you. So if you're stuck in the cycle where you feel if you eat healthy, it's always restrictive or bland or boring, you know. So if this is you, you can say 1. You know, and you struggle then, because how can food become a lifestyle if it always feels boring and bland? Okay, so share 1 with me. Let me see. Then the second one is move. So you can say 2 if it's move for you. And this is where you feel exercise is punishing. You know, it really feels like a punishment. It feels like hard work. You work hard at work. You work hard with your family. You don't want to work hard in your spare time. So you end up dreading an hour workout every day, because who has time for an hour a day to move? And then you end up skipping it. Okay, so tell me number 2 if this is you. And then number 3 is heal. And this is actually the most important one for me, and that I also saw that many of you shared. And this is where stress controls your eating. And it's not just only eating. It controls your exercise, it controls your energy, it controls your body, it controls your mind. It controls everything, but I'm going to apply it to eating today. So, in other words, you start using food as your therapist, because that's how it's a coping mechanism, and that's what you used to since you were probably young, like me. Okay, so let me know. Let's see in the chat box who is stuck with which one. So Nourish is 1. Number 2 is move. Number 3 is heal. Or it could be all 3. Then you can say all of the above. Okay, let's see. Okay, Natasha says 3. Connie 3. Ria 3. Okay, yes. Nearly all of the above. Beautiful. Okay, well, then you're in the right spot. So yes, you're definitely in the right place, and we're going to start with number 1, because I want to start with number 1, because the last one affects most of it. And you can see the little arrows that I'm sharing, and all of them affect each other, of course. Okay, so really important that we'll look at this. So Nourish is our first shift. So I want to help you go from restrictive and stressful food that you dread and you really don't enjoy, and it's boring and bland. So I want you to go from there to make the shift that it becomes easy, tasty, delicious, healthy meals that you and your family actually enjoy. How does that sound? Who's in? Who wants to do this? Go from boring, bland food to easy, delicious, healthy recipes. Let me know. Say yes if you're ready. Beautiful. All right. So, this is the thing. And eating healthy can be easy and delicious. And I know it might not feel that way for you in this moment, because it might not be your truth. Okay? But I think you can agree with the following statement. If eating or your food or healthy eating feels restrictive, boring, or impossible, it will never create lasting transformation. So if you're stuck in the cycle of being healthy but eating boring and bland food, you will eventually give up, because it's boring. Who wants to live like that? You know, how can you make it a lifestyle if you really don't enjoy it? Okay, so you can see the recipes at the bottom. So actually, the left one is my pizza wraps. I literally had one just before we started. So you can also let me know which one looks amazing for you. So these are my rainbow food recipes. So you can see the first one on the left is the pizza wraps. The second one is my four-way chicken, like prepping chicken breasts in a yummy way. And the last one is tuna melts. So a great recipe if you struggle to make, if fish taste good. So let me know which one looks the best for you. And I know some of you have even actually tried some of them. So let me know. I want to see. 1, 2, or 3. What's your favorite one? 2. Okay. So that's the four-way chicken. Wait, let me just open it so that you all can see. 2. Beautiful. Okay. So I must say one of my favorite recipes of all time is the pizza wraps, and I actually developed that when I relocated from South Africa to the Netherlands, because it was easy to make and it's so versatile and flexible. Okay, moving on. So what happens when food feels restrictive? The problem is your body and your mind fights back. Okay, and I think this will be one that many of you can agree with. Who agrees with me? So if you feel that it's punishing, how many of you end up going into self-sabotage, or the addictions come in, or the cravings become more powerful because it feels blah? You know what I mean? Let me see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so what happens is, let me paint the picture for you, and then you can just say yes. So here you are, you have your eating plan, it's a little bit boring and bland, and you start strong. It's Monday, you bought your groceries, and here you go. You're off to a great start. And then after a few days, you feel, okay, I'm a little bit hungry. Then the cravings start coming in. Then you feel, okay, these meals are really boring, and boring meals don't last. So eventually you give up, and you're like, no, I'm just going to give in. It's not worth it. I don't want to live like this anymore. And then you go into your binge eating or stress eating phases. Who can relate to that? Let me know in the chats. Or number 2, you stay stuck in the restriction cycle. So what does the restriction cycle look like? You try to be good. You want to be a perfect student and perfect. I'm going to follow my health perfectly. And then you end up overeating because of the previous one, right? And you go into this restriction cycle, eating too little, then you're hungry or hangry, and yes, and then you fall off the wagon, you feel guilty. Then the guilt causes more stress, and then the stress triggers the response all over and over again. Number 2, yes. So yes, I see a lot of 2s here. Yes, the restriction cycle, that's real. Okay, and then, or the last one, what ends up happening is you lose confidence in yourself and you start doubting yourself, and this is the worst one. Because when you start doubting yourself, the problem is you don't believe in yourself. And then you don't believe anything is possible. Because if you think you're losing confidence in yourself, you're not good enough. So we all have our own stories. Or you think, I just can't do this. I can't do this forever. This is not for me. I'm not one of the lucky ones. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. Whatever the story is, our stories are different. But the result is the same. You start doubting yourself, you lose confidence in yourself, and you give up. Okay, and then healthy living starts to feel impossible because you've been proving it to yourself over and over again. So what happens is food becomes stressful instead of enjoyable. And if it becomes stressful, you have enough stress in your life. You don't want food to be stressful, so you just let it go. So how many of you can relate to this? Well, one of these that I mentioned, Cool. All right. Just let it go. Yes, exactly. So you end up just letting it go because it's not worth it. It takes too much time, energy, effort, and you don't see the results, especially not long term, maybe for a couple of days, All right. So that's on the one side of the coin. Now on the other side, what will happen, do you think? Tell me in the chat box, what will happen when food feels enjoyable for you. So yes, consistency will take care of itself, and I've seen this over and over again with all my clients and when they go through the process. But what will happen for you? What will it feel like for you if you can enjoy healthy food? So you're eating healthy food, you're enjoying it. What would it feel like for you? Just tell me in one word or more if you want, but let me know. Relief. Oh, beautiful word. Yes, relief. And here's the thing, it is possible. I'm living proof of it. The thousands of women I've helped are living proof of it. Yes. Okay, Natasha is saying stress levels will drop because meal times are now enjoyable. Yes. So it becomes one less thing to worry about, right? And the consistency takes care of itself, and it's what we do consistently what matters. But if you can make it enjoyable, you want to do it. It doesn't feel like, oh, I have to do it. You feel like, yes, I get to do it because it tastes good, you know? So, and that's the beauty of it. All right. Let me just do that. Sorry, struggling. There we go. So yes, if it feels good and it feels enjoyable, you want to stick to it, and that's the point. And of course, enjoying a meal looks different for everyone. So what I enjoy is not necessarily what you enjoy, and you know, vice versa. So I just want to see. Oh no, that's good. Okay, so you actually start looking forward to meals. You want to start preparing meals because you love the taste of every bite. If you have a family or children, you start bonding with them because they're cooking dinner with you and you are teaching them how to eat healthy. And that's freaking amazing. That is literally breaking the cycle right there, that generational cycles, all right? And food starts to feel satisfying, not like sacrifice, and not stressful anymore. Okay, so you stop thinking about food all the time. If I think back when I started this journey or started helping women specifically in 2012, which is when I started this whole process or the work that I do, I was thinking about food 24/7. Like, what am I going to eat? What am I going to make tomorrow? What am I going to buy? Like, it just became super stressful because it literally took over my life, you know? So you also have fewer food battles in your mind. And I'm talking about the mind because the mind is powerful and nobody knows what your mind is saying except you. And for some, you're not even aware of what your mind is saying. But if your mind is constantly telling you that you're not good enough, you can't do this is too difficult, you know, the sabotage will kick in because you don't want to live like that. Okay, and then the third thing is you start staying consistent. So when it feels enjoyable, you stay consistent, as we saw. So even on weekends and holidays and in real life, you are consistent. And it might not seem possible for you in this moment, but so many times I've had my clients say that it was like the first holiday they went on, that they didn't binge eat, that they didn't drink like endlessly every day because it's holiday, you can do what you want. Like, they didn't want to because they already started eating healthy. They could see the benefits of the energy levels. And I'm not even talking about the weight. You know, their skin were glowing, their energy levels were soaring, and they didn't have like sugar hangovers because they binge ate on chocolates or cupcakes or whatever it was the night before, or an alcohol hangover because they drank too much. And this was really encouraging for me to see how many people actually say this, that they wanted to stay healthy. And that doesn't mean that you don't enjoy. You still enjoy your guilt-free pleasures, but then you enjoy it fully as well. No more guilt involved. And that's the thing. And it is a skill. You can learn it. I've taught many people to do this. Okay. So the beautiful thing is it stops them being a diet or an eating plan, and it becomes just how you live. It becomes who you are, and it becomes a lifestyle. And that is what is possible. And if it's possible for me and for my clients and the people I work with, it's possible for you as well. Okay, so let me know which one sounds most exciting for you. That you're enjoying a meal, so one. Or two, that you stop thinking about meals or what you're going to eat all the time, or 3 that you're going to stay consistent? Which one do you feel most related to? Like, which one do you want most? Number 2, seems like 2s are the winners today. Okay, yes, to stop thinking about food all the time. And that's massive because it takes a lot of energy to do that, right? Cool. Okay, so now we get to the Nourish process. So what is this process? What does it involve? And how can you do it? Am I right? Okay. So the Nourish process is all about you stop forcing food choices. So you stop forcing yourself to do things that you really don't want. You stop following diets that does not align with your lifestyle, your personality, or your life. And you start naturally choosing better ones. So you start choosing better food choices. You start doing things that's aligned with you. You know, so many people I find that they just eat because someone else tells them this, or this is the new diet, and they fall into this. And I know we all we all are suckers for marketing sometimes, right? Because that person figured out everything. They know the magic answer. They have the magic pill or the magic supplement or the magic diet, or there are no quick fixes. And deep down we all know this. Because if there were, I mean, there won't be so many people struggling, right? And that's the thing. So the whole process is we make healthy living or healthy eating sustainable. So how do we do that? We do that for you. How? Number 1, we build meals around what you actually want to eat. Not buying healthy foods you hate, not okay, but also you include all the food groups that you enjoy. You also build meals with, or rainbow meals with real flavor and variety and flexibility. You know what to do. I teach you what to do when life gets stressful, when you go on holiday. You know how to navigate these situations. Then, secondly, you learn when and how to eat, not just what. So, of course, the what, but I think most people know deep down what works for them. And if not, I teach you to listen to yourself because only you know. So, yes, the what is important. Of course, I always say, like, if you eat, it's a good analogy to use a car. So, if you put diesel, I don't know what you call it in the Netherlands. I think it's diesel still. Or fuel. If you put the wrong fuel into the car, you will stuff up the engine. So, if you put diesel in a petrol car, the car won't work anymore. So, of course, if you keep putting junk food and unhealthy food into your body, it won't work anymore. Or it will struggle. And this is generally how it then comes out into our genetic weaknesses. For some people that looks like diabetes. For some people that looks like being overweight. For some people heart disease. For some people skin problems. For some people, I mean, the list goes on and on. We all have our different predispositions. And generally, when our body is under stress and we're unhealthy, these predispositions lift up and become visible for us to see in our bodies. So yes, understanding what to eat is important, of course, but also when and how. And these 2 things are, most people ignore that. Like when to eat and how to eat. So how are you eating? Tell me in the chat box. I want to know how you're eating most of the time. Do you eat in front of the TV? Do you eat at your laptop while working? Do you gobble down your food, barely breathing in between? Is that how you eat? Let me know how you eat. I want to know. Or do you eat in a rested state? Do you breathe before you eat? Do you taste your food? Which one do you align with? The before or the first one? You can say first or second. Like firstly, with distractions, gobbling down your food, or maybe skipping meals because you're too busy, you know? All 3 for me, says Larika. Okay. Yes. Beautiful. Nelia, 1. Yes. Okay, so Natasha, 1. Yes. All right. So we'll get to that because I'm going to teach you beautiful tools about intuitive eating instead of distraction and mindless eating. But yes, mindless eating is one of the main things where we then just gobble down food and you're so distracted that you don't even realize that you ate like the whole packet of chips or popcorn or slab. So that's actually one of the main things, because you're not aware of it. You're not even aware of it because you're just eating, right? Okay, so also understanding your own hunger signals. So when are you physically hungry? When are you emotionally hungry or stress hungry? So when are you using food as a psychologist instead of for fuel for life? But also looking at your craving patterns and cycles, your addictions, your self-sabotage methods, and then timing. And this is where intermittent fasting comes in. So I've been teaching this for many years, but it doesn't work for everyone. And you need to find the right way for you. And it also doesn't mean, and this is another one, many people that do intermittent fasting is like, it's not about eating whatever you want. You can't eat whatever you want. That's not intermittent fasting. That's not what it's about. That's not the science behind it. And of course, for women, there's a whole nother layer coming in, and that's the hormones. And there's specific times that you can focus on specific meals and food groups and things. So, not to overwhelm you, but it doesn't work for everyone. So, it's really finding what works for you, and we are all different. And also, if you've been doing intermittent fasting for a while and it stops working, you need to tweak things, right? So, then the third thing is all about removing the good and bad food label. So there is no such thing as good and bad. It's what we do with the food that makes it good or bad, as like anything. So no more restriction. And that's what it's all about. So this is where food then becomes freedom instead of restriction. Yes. Who's excited? Let me know. Do you think it's possible? That's the other thing. It's okay if you don't. Like, do you think it's possible for you that food can become freedom? Just say yes or no. Yes, beautiful. And that's the thing, if you can believe it's possible, anything is possible if you believe it. And I know it sounds corny, but it really is true. Because the opposite is also true. If you don't believe it, it's also not going to work, right? Okay, so this is Sarona's Nourish Shift. So I actually worked with Sarona over, I think it was 11 weeks actually. And this is what she said about Nourish and food. She said, I never felt restricted or forced into anything. And this was beautiful. And it was quite interesting to see because Sarona is also, she's a microbiologist, so she does a lot of lab work. And she is in the health field, right? And even when she said she is in the health field, but she didn't actually have everything in place. And it was really eye-opening for her to learn the nutrition side of it and the Nourish process. She also went on to say, it wasn't really me, we made it simple, practical, and sustainable. And it's not just benefiting me, but also my daughter and the people around me. And this is beautiful, and I want to share that one specifically because she said, it's not just benefiting me, it's benefiting my daughter as well, and everyone around me. How beautiful is that? Yes. Gassi Nelia says, I hope that it's possible. Yes. Well, hope is a powerful emotion. I do a lot of emotion work, and hope is a beautiful high frequency emotion. So if there's hope, there's a way. Beautiful. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so now you know shift 1, and I'm happy to hear that you think it's possible or that you're hoping it's possible for you, and that's, yes, absolutely beautiful. So now you know how to make food work for you. How are you going to do that? Are you going to make it more tasty? How can you make it more enjoyable for you? Tell me in one word. It's one thing you can do to make it more enjoyable. And that could be variety, maybe trying different healthy foods and seeing what you actually enjoy, So yes, no more restriction, no more guilt, just nourishment that really fits your life. And it's not just about fitting your life, it's fitting your lifestyle, your personality, the season that you're in. And I don't just mean the weather season, like if you're in South Africa, obviously it's winter. If you're in the Netherlands or Canada, I'm just using these as examples because that's where you all are from. So then it's summer. I'm not talking about that season. I'm talking about the season of your life. Because also there are different seasons, and age makes a difference, hormones make a difference. If you have children, whether if you don't, if you have a partner or you don't, like there are many factors involved, right? So it's all about creating it for you specifically. And that's the beauty of it. Okay, Natasha says, trying new ingredients. Yes, beautiful. trying new ingredients is a beautiful way to do that. And also, if I can give you all a tip, really use flavor when it comes to your food. Use your olive oils, use your spices, your mixed herbs and things like that. So that's just a quick one that you can do already. Okay. All right, so now we're done with nourish, and now we're going to go over to movement. Okay, so now I'm going to also tell you why everything you've been told is making it harder when it comes to exercise. So let's do this. Move is up next. Okay, so now I'm going to give you the shift necessary to help you with your move journey specifically. So if you want to move from punishing exercises that you dread or you just skip and it's exhausting and it's long. So going from there to the following. Fun movement in only 10 minutes. Now let me know your thoughts about moving for 10 minutes only. Do you think that will give you results? Let's hear it. I always enjoy this because a lot of people tell me, no, 7 minutes, 10 minutes won't do anything. But let me tell you this. Every minute of exercise counts, as long as you do it, and it's better than nothing. And I'm going to tell you how to do it properly, so that 10 minutes is super effective, okay? So at the end of the day, it's all about consistency and intensity over duration. Cool. So, exercise doesn't have to be long and exhausting to be effective. It doesn't have to. If it feels punishing, which for many of you does, you won't stick to it. And what happens if we don't stick to exercise? Well, it doesn't become a habit. You don't see results. Your body starts hurting. You start having pains and aches. And yes, it just feels... Our bodies need movement. So I'm not going to go into the science of that. We all know this instinctively. Movement is necessary. So the rules with muscles actually is, if you don't use it, you lose it. And especially as we age, right? Then it becomes super important. So, yes, now, just wait for the bike. Now you can hear me again. So yes, let's look at how we can do the shift from punishment to fun exercise. Okay. Okay, so here is the thing. 10 minutes of the right movement beats 60 minutes of the wrong kind every single time. I'm going to say that again. So 10 minutes of the right movement beats 60 minutes of the wrong kind every single time. Who knows what the right movement is? Let's see. I know many of you know exercise are important, but what's the right kind of exercise, do you think? Natasha says, wow. Yes. Okay, let me know. What exercise do you think is the right kind? And if you don't know, that's also fine. You can say, I don't know. You can let me know. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Ulrika says, cardio combined with weights. Okay, we'll see. Natasha says, the kind of exercise that you enjoy. Beautiful, definitely. But yes, it's actually a beautiful blend of both. So let's get into it. Let me just stop sharing the screen a little bit so that I can look at all of you. Okay. Okay, so let's get to it. Now, the one thing again is if you have exercise that's exhausting, like, so the science behind it, let me tell you the science. So when I was studying exercise and personal training and then my master's in sports physiology, the whole thing was you have to exercise 30 to 60 minutes, ideally every day, but at least 3 to 4 times. Okay, and then there was a lot of things in between, like what to do and what not to do, and people asking what's the right kind, what's the wrong kind. And what Natasha's saying is true. It needs to be something that you enjoy. Why? Because otherwise you're not going to do it, right? You're not going to want to do it if you're not enjoying it. So most people actually think the more movement you do, the better it is. you'll see better results. You're exercising more, you're exercising 60 minutes every day or every second day, you are a winner. And then you're like, I don't see any results, you know, or not for the amount of minutes I'm exercising or all the time I'm exercising. I'm not seeing the results I want. Okay, so here's the thing. Then I went deeply into the research because I also like, listen, I'm busy. I run my own companies. I run, you know, and then you have all the stress at home and life and everything in between happening. I don't want to exercise 60 minutes every day. So I was like, I'm going to not have to do that. Okay, so I did a lot of research on it, and the science actually is clear. And this is where intensity is better than duration. So that's why you can exercise for 10 minutes, and that's better than 60 minutes if you do high intensity interval training. So that's the science. So that is a beautiful mix, like Ulrika said, around cardio and weights. You can combine both. That's perfect. You can just do one or the other. So you can actually do any type of movement, but it's the way you do it that becomes important. So I actually developed my whole Move exercise library with 10-minute workouts that you can do. That already does that for you, whether you have equipment or not. And it's not about that. A lot of people think, I need to go to the gym. I need to exercise harder. I can't. But you can use your own body weight. You can do it anywhere. And that's the beauty of it. And that's why I developed these type of workouts, because then you end up not having excuses, because you don't have excuses. You know, you can do it anywhere, and most people can fit 10 minutes a day, right? So with high intensity interval training, is what happens is your heart rate goes up and then it goes down again. Okay, but that fluctuation is really important. And when it comes to fat loss, it's actually better for you than running on a treadmill for 60 minutes or doing steady state training. So steady state means the same pace all the time for 60 minutes. All right, so, and that's the whole point. We want to have less time, be more effective, and then you're done, right? And the beautiful thing is, of course, if you love going to the gym and it's part of your community and it helps you get out of the house and it's good for your emotional and mental health and you love the classes and things, then do that, of course. But if you, like me, that used to have gym memberships, paying monthly, never going, then this is great because you can do it at home. So, yes. So let me hear your thoughts. How does it feel? How would it make you feel to only do 10 minutes a day? To move your body while you're enjoying it. So, I mean, this could look like anything. Like, you can literally do it now while you're listening to this. I know Anna said she was going for a walk. So, yes, you can literally stand up now, walk on the spot, or jog on the spot for a minute, and then walk for a minute. And then jog on the spot for a minute, and then walk for a minute. But it can also look like fast feet, or jogging on the spot, then doing a plank. You know, again, the sky's the limit. So I help you figure out what works for you. So what you enjoy. Because actually what I find is very few people know what they enjoy. Because we're so used to doing what we don't want when it comes to our health. You know, feeling forced. And nobody forces us, but we feel this is the way we have to do it. Or they said, who's they? You know what I mean? So I teach you how to listen to yourself, to your own intuition, to what's right for you. Because again, we're all different. And there are no one size fits all. If you haven't noticed it yet. Okay, beautiful. Let's continue. Yes, so before I go on, I actually want to know, how will 10 minutes a day change your life? If I tell you that's the only thing you need. And not just for movement, I'm talking about all 3 shifts. Do you think it's possible to transform your whole life, your weight, to feel lighter on all levels in 10 minutes a day? This is literally one of the most powerful coaching tools that I share. And of course, we go deep into it, because if you only focus on 10 minutes, it needs to be super effective, right? And clear about what you do. But how would that make you feel if you only had to commit 10 minutes a day for your health? Nelia, a huge relief. I actually want to know, how much time do you spend currently? For those of you online, let me know. I want to know, how much time do you spend per day? And this, I mean, food prep, thinking about food, exercise if you are exercising, obsessing about your health and your weight. Okay, yes, that was just a joke. But yes, how much time? You know, okay, obviously we have to eat, but whether you stress and overthink and obsess about it, that's a choice, right? And I'm glad that you said that. Huge relief. I like that word. Today's relief is coming up a lot. Okay, Nelia continues to say, if it includes thinking about food, then it's all waking hours. Powerful. Okay. So it is really consuming your mind, right? And I know that's true for many of us. And the beautiful thing is, it doesn't have to be that way. And this is why I do this work, because I'm really passionate about it. Because I do believe that the industry is making it harder than it should be. And we are all falling prey to it, right? Because we believe it. So, yes. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so I'm just going to run through this quickly because I can talk on this topic, all these topics for days. Like I mentioned, I go through it in 90 days with people. So let's go do this. Okay, so we really said when movement feels punishing, obviously you'll find every excuse to avoid it, and that's true for most of us, right? Because you don't want to do something that you don't enjoy. So that's the one thing. And the problem is then you need motivation to start. Then you have the motivation, but motivation runs out. So if you don't know this, you can't depend on motivation because motivation is not forever. And this is a human thing. It's not just you that's failing and don't have motivation. It's a human thing. So motivation starts, most of us have it in the beginning, but it runs out. And especially when we have busy days and when we are stressed and when we have extra stressors coming our way, then obviously the motivation runs out faster and we find more excuses. And if it feels like work, you're going to avoid it because you are working a lot, right? So the problem is it never becomes a habit. You don't even start because it's not enjoyable. You know, so this is also the loop around the punishment cycle for exercise. And it takes too much time and energy if you have to do 60 minutes a day, right? So that's the thing. And then let me know how many of you have started a fitness journey or routine and stopped like within 3 weeks or maybe a week or maybe less. Let me know. Like you start off strong, you're motivated, and then you give up. You know? Ulrika, me. Yes, exactly. So the consistency, it never becomes a habit because you never enjoy it. Natasha, me. Yes, precisely. Cool. I'm glad that it's resonating. Okay, so when movement feels fun. So what happens when it feels fun? You show up even when life gets busy. Because what happens? Even when life is busy, you can still find 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day. And when I do one-on-one coaching, I really go deep into this because especially I align with a lot of people that don't have time. That's also one of my limiting beliefs. So we literally work it out, especially for those that are left brain more inclined. Then we really work out what you do with your time. And it's actually quite powerful to see. I'm not going to go into it now, but it's really a beautiful exercise to do. So the thing is, you show up even when life gets busy because it's enjoyable, because you start seeing results. And I'm not just talking about weight. You start seeing, wow, my body feels good, you know. I can move easier. I'm more flexible. I can walk for longer. I can play with my children for longer. I don't get so exhausted all the time. And yes, it's possible with 10 minutes, literally. So this is why you continue doing it, because you can see the results, right? And you can feel the results. I think that's the more important one, is you can feel the difference. So the beautiful thing is then you stop needing motivation because you actually enjoy it and you want to do it. And there's less dread around it and, oh, punishing, I don't want to give up an hour, I don't have an hour. I have 10 minutes. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to feel better when I do it. Let's just do it. Okay, so you have more pleasure then, no more dread. Then, like I mentioned, even 10 minutes on a hard day feels like a win. And that also sometimes means that you can go lie down and not move for a day if you had a busy day. Like, it's really learning to listen to your body. And this is why I do intuitive eating and intuitive movement, so that you listen to what's right for you. Nobody can tell you what's right for you, but I teach you how to listen to your cues, right? And then the third thing is also consistency builds results. Because you're doing 10 minutes a day, you are literally no more self-doubt. You start believing in yourself. You're like super proud of yourself because you're doing it. Yay, I'm sticking to it. You know, so there's no more doubting yourself. There's no more feeling like a failure. Your confidence builds because you're looking also better because you've been exercising every day, you know, even 10 minutes. So that's the beauty of it. So the whole move process, let me just share the screen. Keep forgetting. Because I'm like chatting with all of you, so that you know, I forget. But the whole move process is about finding your fun fitness. And again, it looks different for everyone. And like Natasha mentioned, finding something you enjoy, movement you enjoy. Let me know in the comment section what do you enjoy about movement. And don't tell me nothing. Then it's fine if it's nothing, but that just means you haven't figured it out yet, right? So, and here's the thing. It's about finding the movement you enjoy and something that fits your lifestyle, your life, not the other way around. Not something that you have to bend your whole life around to fit into your schedule. That's not then for you. Okay, so let me know in the chat box, what movement do you enjoy? It can literally be anything, walking, dancing, even if you haven't danced in a while. So that's a good place to start, by the way, for all of you. If movement is something you want to start with every day from now on, just do 5 minutes of movement. Put your favorite songs on and move to the music, literally. And that's it. You will see amazing results. Okay, so how do we make movement fun and enjoyable? Of course, that's different for all of us. And I'll check back in the chat section now, so you can type so long, let me know. So again, we looked at the 10 minutes of the right kind of exercise. So this is 10-minute high intensity interval training. It's effective, it's super doable, no equipment is needed, and it's simple daily movement that you can do. And of course, you can do it on your own. You can pop on a video. Like, I literally created the exercise libraries for this so that it's really super convenient for you and that you can't find an excuse. Okay, so the second thing is also, if it fits your schedule, you will do it, and this will make it sustainable. Because you don't need strict times, you don't need long hours on end, you work it into your schedule. So now, if move is your goal, write down now on your notebook, how are you going to bring it into your day? And this could look different for everyone. It could look like 10 minutes, you wake up 10 minutes earlier, or go to bed 10 minutes later because you exercise. And I won't recommend exercising before you go to bed, but I mean, you can do it 10 minutes before you go to shower. You have to shower or take a bath every day. So just do it 10 minutes before. That's a beautiful time to do it. Or it could look like, actually what Sarona also did was she worked it into a day when she was in the lab waiting for things to run, you know, like all the experiments and things. She would literally just do a few squats, you know, like 1 or 2 minutes there every hour. So that could also be an option for you. So let me know what movement you enjoy in the chat, and also how you can bring it in. And this could also be having a dance party. When you come home, it's a beautiful place and a beautiful way to end your work day and go into your evening or personal time, you know, to have work-life balance, to pop on your favorite music, obviously a BT music, and then dance to that. All right. And then the third thing is then finding your fun fitness. What will then happen is, or how we do that is movement you enjoy. So I'm going to check the chat section now. So it could be anything, whatever lights you up. Literally cycling, walking, swimming, dancing, anything. Okay, so again, consistency and intensity over duration, always. So if you have a choice, and I mean, how cool is that? You don't need to exercise 60 minutes or even 30 minutes a day. You don't have to do it. If you're doing the right kind, which is high intensity interval training, it's super effective. Science actually shows that 4 minutes a day, 4 to 20, so 4 minutes up to 20 minutes per day is more efficient than doing 40 to 60 minutes of steady state training where you're on a treadmill running. Crazy. All right. So great news for us, right? Okay, let me see in the chat box. What you enjoy. Natasha says Pilates. Yoga doesn't do it for me. Okay, cool. Yes. Ria says rebounding. Awesome. Ulrika, walking. Awesome. Okay, so use those things you enjoy and incorporate it into your 10 minutes. So whether that means you're at the office, you don't have extra time, everybody needs a break. Stand up at lunch, go walk around, even if it's just in the office or outside if you can. Come back, eat your meal quietly, or not necessarily quietly, just calmly, and then continue your day. And Natasha, I like that you're saying that you don't enjoy yoga. So I love yoga, but for me also, yoga, I don't do yoga with other people. I want to do it with myself. So I do my own yoga, stretches and things. And for Natasha, for example, she likes Pilates. Beautiful. Yes. We're all beautifully different. And it's a blessing. So use what you enjoy. You are allowed to do what you enjoy. All right, so next up I'm going to share a little story with you for, it's Natasha, also on the call today. So Natasha actually mentioned after working with me that a big surprise for her was that movement became joyful again. And she committed to moving every single day. And she stuck to it. Beautiful. And then she continues on sharing there at the bottom left, as you can see, she did the workout this morning. So that's one of my fun fitness workouts. And it really got my heart racing. It was so interesting to hear that we have to get the heart rate up and then down again. And that's the whole point of HIIT. So yes, she always thought if she has to take a break that she's weak. So, and then she continues saying this changes everything. So that's the beauty of it. And also that one of her proudest wins is reconnecting with intuitive movement and intuitive eating. So yes, you can obviously read through that as well, but it shows you what is possible if we just challenge our minds a bit, you know? And not just challenge, become aware of the stories we tell ourselves. And this is also beliefs, not just from our parents, from the collective, from the whole human race about certain things. Like, start just thinking or becoming aware of what you're thinking and what are your stories. And I know I've highlighted some of your stories today. So if that's you, then you need to work on the mindset. You need to work on the perspective, because that's the important part. Otherwise, nothing will change. Okay, so we're done with step 2. So now you know how to make movement feel fun. Basically, you do what you enjoy. And it's about staying consistent, doing 10 minutes only of the right kind of exercise, and on your own terms. Nobody else can tell you what to do. And don't fall for anything else. Trust yourself. And learning to trust yourself is also really important. Okay, so here's my favorite shift, and the deepest shift for most people. And when you work on this shift, everything else changes. And the weird thing is very few people look at the shift, because very few coaches work on all 3 levels, right? So this is the big one, and this is the yield shift. So it's looking at your stress, and this can also be emotional. So our emotions can be overwhelming and stressful if you don't know how to manage it. And a lot of the work I do is integrating and feeling your emotions in a healthy way. So it's all about moving from stress, controlling your food and all the other things of your health, but let's focus on food. So going from there to feeling calm, in control, and responding to stressors without food. Okay, so food is no longer your therapist. How does that sound? Do you think it's possible for you? So for those of you that struggle with, yes, emotional eating, stress eating, let me know. Do you think it's possible for you? Well, let's start here. Tell me who's emotional eaters, who's stress eaters, or both. I want to know. Then I can also use those as examples. So are you stress eating? Because I know a couple of you said that all 3 shifts align with you, so let me know. Both. Okay, stress and emotions. Cool. And this can also go both ways. So some people binge eat when they're stressed, or when they're stressed, they want to drink or eat. So binge drink, binge eat, whatever the, pick your poison type of thing. Natasha, also both. Yes. Okay, cool. I'll then use both as examples. Okay, and here's the truth, and I know so many other health practitioners will agree with me. Oh, well, Rika, also both. Cool. If you don't manage your stress, it will control your eating, and that's a promise. Okay, so if you eat when you are emotional or stressed, which we saw now, most of you have both, you won't reach and maintain your health goals long term. And I've seen this since 2012, working with women. If we don't address the emotional stress cause, that's the root cause of it. If you don't deal with the cause, the deeper cause, you won't see the results you want, and you can't maintain it long term. Okay, so we really want your mind to shift from going from stress and emotional eating, so using food as your psychologist or therapist. And this could also look like snacking a lot. It's not always binge eating, but you feel out of control. That's the point. You feel out of control when you're emotional or stressed. You want to eat, and you have the self-sabotage, the addiction that kicks in, and you just do it. Okay, but you want to go from there to feeling calm, in control, and responding to stress and emotions without food. Okay, so this is what stress actually does to your body. And this is the piece that most coaches, well, they don't necessarily know it, but they don't explain it then. And then why nothing else has worked long term. So if you've been struggling for years and you've gone through the cycles, and many things that I share today relate with you, and you can feel like, oh my word, that is me. Oh my word, that is me. Then this is the one to look at first. Okay, so you'll see what happens is and this is chronic stress, so long term. So what happens is we have adrenaline, which is more short-term stress, and that's where your heart rate increases, your breathing rate increases. You activate the sympathetic nervous system, which is the stress response. So it's our stress or flight or fight or freeze nervous system. So your body's ready to protect or run away or do something. It's not in a calm state, right? So what happens is cortisol increases. Then what happens is all your home hormones go haywire if cortisol stays high long term. So chronic stress means long term, right? So now what happens over the long run is your cortisol levels increase. This increases your insulin levels as well. So it goes to your pancreas releases more insulin, and if you're insulin resistant, this becomes a problem. Okay, then what happens is everything goes haywire. Your whole body is in a stress reaction. And the number two, so you'll see below cortisol, I mentioned fat storage increase. The reason is the number one function of cortisol is, oh my word, we're going through a stressful time. We need to keep fat for the starvation time upcoming soon. And then the second thing is you build fat, because now you want to keep it in your pantry for when the hunger season comes, right? Or when there's not enough. So it wants to keep everything. So this is literally the physiology, the functioning of this hormone. So that it's not that it's happening for some people, it's happening for most people, right? Now you can also get the other side where a lot of people that stress and are emotional don't eat at all, which is also an imbalance. So that's also possible, but that's not the situation we're talking about now. Okay, so what happens is if your insulin increases, your fat increases, your cortisol increases, your inflammation increases. And this is why stress is the root cause of all disease. So you can ask any doctor, any health practitioner, they will tell you the same. The root cause of any disease is stress. And it's because of these hormones going haywire. And then I'm not even talking about your sex hormones and all the other hormones being involved here, because then I can speak for days. Okay. So if your body is in inflammation chronically, it's like, think of a fire running all over your body. Can your body heal? Can you lose fat? Can you be healthy? Can you digest your food properly if this is the case? The answer is no. Your body can't. It's in survival mode. So, and this is the thing. Then digestion slows because, hey, we don't have time to digest our food now. We need to either fight this battle or run away or freeze. But in any of those events, we don't want to digest our food. So then our digestion becomes poor. We struggle with bloating. We struggle with gut health issues. We struggle with, the list goes on and on. Because literally what happens in your body is everything goes away from the digestive system and it gets redirected to your muscles to either run away or to your vital organs to protect it, because now it needs to ready it to let's run. You know what I mean? And then this is also within where willpower drops eventually, because it feels like losing battle. You keep eating healthy, you're not seeing results, you keep building fat, and your willpower starts dropping, and this happens quite soon. And then, of course, the nervous system effects, because it activates your stress response ongoing, like literally. So your body can't heal. We forget that our bodies want to be healthy. It was created that way. By the way, the body is magnificent. Like, I've never seen anything like it. And with all my years of studies and working with it, it really is a masterpiece. But your power comes in by what you put into it. And I'm not just talking about food and movement. I'm talking about your thoughts, the things you say to yourself. How do you speak to yourself? Because that's the message every single cell receives. And there's a lot of work around Molecules of Emotions, which is actually a book by Dr. Candace Pert, about the power of emotions and thoughts. And there's a lot of experiments on water and the effect of words on it, like actual studies. It's really fascinating. I'm not going to go into that today. But it's just to show you that how you speak to yourself is part of that. Not just your thoughts that you have and obsessing about food and obsessing about life and everything in between. But this is where the real work comes in, right? Is to be honest with yourself and know where you start. Where are you in this moment and where do you want to be? And then finding a roadmap to get there. Yes. Okay, and I'm really passionate about it because I do understand. I also had those voices, and I still do. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like a magic pill that switches off. You learn how to work with it. You learn how to manage it. You learn how to have a dialogue with your emotions and these self-sabotage, and you see it for what it is. It's your nervous system trying to protect you. That's what it's doing. It's trying to keep you safe. And if you're in stress response the whole time, our sympathetic nervous system is you literally in stress. Your whole body is in stress, and you can't heal in that situation, no matter what diet you follow, no matter what you do. And what actually happens is in the front of your brain, your prefrontal cortex, which is your decision maker and your personality and behavior, it goes offline. Because again, it's not now, we don't need to focus on decisions now, we just need to get out of the situation. So it's not a weakness, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not a weakness, it's neuroscience. And it's your body trying to protect you. So your discipline was actually never the problem, as you can see. It's the stress. It's the way your body is built, but you need to learn how to work with it, right? And here's the thing, your body can't tell the difference between a lion or something attacking you and a deadline. And it doesn't, not just those two. It can't tell the difference between that, you being hard on yourself, punishing yourself. I mean, think of the things you say to yourself. If you would say that to a friend, how would they feel, right? And yes, so they really becomes powerful and it's actually all about learning to know yourself and learning to know what works for you. And it's a beautiful journey. All right. Okay, real moments over. Okay, so here is then also if stress is running your life, you can also, or running your body, no diet in the world can fix it. So just quickly going through it is basically you have your stress trigger, then your cortisol spikes like we saw. Then what happens is we know now that one of the main functions is fat storage. So the fat storage increases, all right? Then your cravings take over because now all the blood sugar that's as easy access is now being stored away, so you really get physically hungry and the cravings take over and you start eating for comfort. And then the guilt and shame, and then you drop your confidence or you doubt yourself, and then you have more stress because of it. And then you have other stress coming from all angles, right? Because life can get hectic sometimes and stressful. So you can see the stress eating cycle and why stress then actually controls your eating. And this is why willpower alone cannot break it. It's impossible. Because a body that's constantly stressed can't break this cycle and can't heal and release fat, for example. Okay. Let me just... Okay, so let me know. How are you feeling? Can you now see, did you learn something new about stress and your body? Or did you know it before? Or maybe saw it from a different angle? So I would really want to see what relates for you. It's always interesting for me to also know, yes, what works for people. Okay, so the whole point is actually just to show you that stress, when you constantly stress, cortisol is running the show. It's controlling your eating, it's causing you to emotional eat. And this is the thing, food became our coping mechanism. And it's so for many people. And that's why we use it as, when we get stressed. But it's because our inner child needed to feel safe. And then we learned this either as behavior from others, or obviously we mimic a lot of things when we're young. And it became a belief that food will help us cope, right? And our nervous system was actually asking for regulation. It wanted us to calm down, And yes, so that's also why I've been bringing in a lot of energy healing and emotional health and healing, and why I developed my Reiki relaxations to help you calm your nervous system on a daily basis. And that also just takes 5 to 10 minutes a day. But remember, it's the consistency that matters. Okay, so the beautiful thing is when stress becomes or feels manageable, like you have the tools to manage your stress, your relationship with food will transform. Because then you start eating with intention and you don't use it as a reaction. So it's not a reaction when you're stressed, you start thinking about it, you become aware of it, right? Your digestion improves because your body feels calm, and you can only digest your food properly if our parasympathetic nervous system is coming up, and that's only when we calm, because that's our rest and digest nervous system. Okay, so and we also then get less bloating and all the beautiful effects of that. Cravings also start to lose their grip because we don't have cortisol running the show anymore, right? And we don't have that urgent pull for sugar specifically and fats and snacks and things. And you respond to your emotions also without food. And this is actually where the real lightness comes from, not the scale. But if you have this tool, and it is a skill again that you can develop and practice, and if you have it, it will change your life. All right. Okay, so I want to share with you, tell me if this is you or which one sounds like you right now in this moment. But this is, we touch on it a little bit, so I'm going to run through it. But this is basically the mindless eating versus intuitive eating. So let me know, you can just say yes if you align, or at this moment in time, you align more with mindless eating. So many of you already said, but you eat when you're stressed, when you're bored or emotional, when you feel rushed, distracted, and then you barely taste your food. You overeat without realizing. The guilt, the shame, the out of controlness, basically food controlling you. So many of you already said that this is you, right? And beautiful. Alrika says, I saw everything from a different angle. Yes. And then Elia says yes to mindless eating. Yes, exactly. And that's the beauty of it. Now you're aware of it. So I always say awareness is like most of the work, like 80%, because if you're not aware of it, you can't change it. Obviously, if you're not aware of a problem, why will you change it? You don't know even it exists, right? But now you know, so now you can't take it back. And that's where awareness comes from. And yes, exactly what Ulrika said, seeing it from a different perspective. You can change your mind, and that's the beauty of it. That's in your control. You know, there are many things we can't control in life, especially when it comes to stress and life. I mean, most things are out of our control, but the way we think is in our control. It can be challenging if you don't know how to change your mind, literally, which is part of the work that I do, because mindset is so important. Or perspective, actually. It's exactly that, the angle that you're looking from, like Ulrika said. But then I teach people, I actually have 8 steps to intuitive eating, and or 9 steps actually, but this is what it is. So this could be you too. So you can go from mindless eating to intuitive eating or mindful eating. And this is where you eat when you're physically hungry. So you start learning to know your body. When am I physically hungry? When am I not? You stay calm, present, and intentional, and you savor every bite. And this even counts for when you are having ice cream, when you choose consciously to do that. You enjoy every bite. Then you stop naturally when you're satisfied, because it's not necessary to continue eating. You're not distracted, so you can feel the hunger beautifully, right? You feel nourished, calm, and in control. And this is where food freedom comes in. You feel free. And like Nelia said, you're not obsessing about it. You're not thinking about food the whole time anymore. And you are in control of your food, not the other way around. And that's the beauty of it. And it is possible. Like literally, this is what I teach. And so many people see amazing results. So these are the 2 sides of the table, or the coin, you know. Okay, so this is the thing, the yield process. So again, it takes 5 to 10 minutes of calm a day. So you can use that power of 10. It doesn't have to be movement. If this is something you struggle with, I encourage you to start here, because then food stops being your therapist. And I think this is the main thing for many of us, right? So there's also 2 testimonials that you can read just about feeling calm and amazing. So this is why I actually did my own thing, as I always do. But I created beautiful Reiki relaxations to help you calm your nervous system, and that you can listen to every day. Again, pop it on, listen, as easy as that. Yes, so that's the whole thing. And it's to calm your nervous system, and especially when you have stressful times. And you can listen to it before you go to bed, when you wake up. Again, finding your 5 minutes of you whenever it suits you. Okay, so basically it involves any calm and reset tools. Now, we all are different, so of course you can do anything that makes you calm. So if this is you, write down now whatever you find calming. It can be reading, breathing, relaxing, maybe a nap, that's also a beautiful one, or mindfulness in general, you know, being in the present moment, whatever resonates with you, journaling. Yes, it can literally be anything. It can be easy. It can be meditations, relaxations, whatever it is, but jot down what it is for you. And let me know in the comment section what makes you feel calm. You know, I love to see. And then also to learn to pause between trigger and response. So we saw the stress trigger and the response of, you know, going into emotional eating. But what will happen if you just pause for a moment? So you start responding instead of reacting. And this is a skill, and it's totally learnable. I'm not saying it's always easy. The response, the pause, is generally the difficult part. But if you can learn to pause, breathe 5 to 10 times, and then just ask yourself what's best for you in this moment, it will make a world of a difference. And then creating a calm daily habit. So I would again say it's the same, power of 10, like with a move. You don't have to do both. You can literally do 5 minutes of each. Start there. If these are the 2 you want to focus on, or if this is the main one for you, focus on this one for 10 minutes a day. And again, it's all about being consistent, right? Nothing's going to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So these small, consistent habits will lead to massive, massive transformation. So it's these micro steps that you take every day that when you turn around, you're like, wow, look how far I've come. And then you start seeing it, of course, in everything, like on the scale, for sure, in the way, in your clothes, so that's on the physical level, but you start to feel lighter on mental level as well, with stress, with everything in your life, and that's the beauty of it. Okay, so now I want to share with you actually, so Christine's story, it's beautiful, and it's really a good example of all 3 shifts working together. So this is the email she sent me. You can read it basically, but what happens was we started working together in March 2025, which was just over a year ago now. And she made the decision to put herself first. She literally got to me. Her story before was literally drinking Coke every single day, like Coca-Cola. She was drinking a lot of alcohol as well. Also a lot of caffeine. You know, she really struggled. And then she traveled a lot, so then she ate whatever she wanted, junk food, everything. Of course, this was an extreme case as well. But this was who she was before, and she didn't think it was possible for her. She didn't think she can make changes. And we started slowly, and she literally released 11.9 kilograms. That's almost 12 kilograms in 10 weeks. And as she said, she's a stronger, more confident me. And that's absolutely beautiful. And it wasn't for her just about the scale. Yes, she came because she wanted to lose weight. But what she got was literally this massive life transformation. And she said she literally cut out drinking Coca-Cola completely. She reduced caffeine and alcohol. So, see, reduced. She didn't cut it out completely. Okay. And she built consistent, healthy routines. And even while traveling. So she was really traveling a lot. She's a pharmaceutical rep, so she travels a lot. And researcher, actually. So, and this was beautiful. I couldn't even like put it better myself, but this is in her own words, where she said, I genuinely feel lighter, both physically and emotionally. And I'm so proud of the visible and invisible progress I've made. So it really becomes beautiful when you have the support you need as well. And of course, you can do this on your own. If you can, you know, of course, anybody can. I did it for myself. I wish I had someone that could teach me how to do it faster. But when you have support, it becomes easier. And it is difficult to see your own patterns, right? So if you have the right coaches, they can help you do that as well. And yes, and she literally ended off by saying, this is more than just a transformation. It's a new way of living. And I'm just getting started. So yes, absolutely. Like, I really love the work that I do because this lights up my heart when I get transformations and testimonials like this. Okay, so there you have all 3 shifts. So let me know, which is the first shift that you're going to work with? Is it shift number 1, nourish? Is it shift number 2, move? Or shift number 3, yield? Let me know. Okay, so with our calm tools, Ria said slow breathing, journaling. Beautiful, but then go schedule it in and do it every day. Ulrika says reading, slow breathing. Beautiful. And yes, I always say there are no quick fixes, only one, and that's your breath. So yes, use it. And again, it's just creating that time. So schedule it in like a meeting, put your timer on and just breathe, right? Okay, Nelia says she wants to focus on move and consistency. Ria says 3, yield. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, great. So you already know where you started, where you were stuck. Now you know where to start with your next steps, right? So that's beautiful. Okay, so also you know how stress is affecting and running the show and how to now start bringing in calm and peace in your life. And rather than reacting, choose to respond. Okay, so now you know all of these 3 shifts. And I really want you to, before we go on, we're almost there, but I just want you to pop in for me. How was this workshop for you? Let me know if there are anything that stood out for you. Yes, I would really love to know if it was helpful or valuable. I know it's a lot of information. I give you all the tools and you can pick and choose what works. But please write for me your feedback. I would really appreciate that a lot. Yeah. Cool. And then I want to tell you more about your free gift. So I promised you a free gift, right? So I keep my promises. And actually, before I get to that, I want to see how the workshop is for you. So let me know your feedback. You can give me one word also. It doesn't have to be a whole paragraph. Yes, let me know. Ulrika says, very valuable. The tools will really assist. Thank you, Henri. Awesome. I'm so happy to hear it. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me take a sip of water. I encourage you to do the same. Ria says, helpful to again realize the huge effects of stress on our lives and our well-being. Definitely. Definitely. And that's a powerful one for sure. Okay, so now let's get to your bonus gift. Okay, so I literally never give this as a gift, but literally while I was busy reading all your stories on WhatsApp, I was like, I need to do this. I changed my mind. I didn't want to give you my e-guide. I was like, no, I'm going to give you something more special, and I only want you to book. Okay, I said it. If if you are ready to take the next steps. If you're not ready, if you don't think your health is important right now, or you really don't have 10 minutes or time to do it, then this is probably not for you. Yes. So I did give you everything I could now in 90 minutes. Of course, like I said, I do this process obviously one-on-one and in coaching throughout 90 days. But I really hope that you have something that can shift already. And some of you already shared that you do, and I'm super glad that that's the case for you. Yes. So yes, I think it's since I've actually been working with 1,000 people since 2012, over 1,000 women. There's one thing I've noticed, that knowing is not the same as doing. So yes, you are here, you are getting the knowledge, you know, but if you're not going to implement it, if you're not going to, you know, really live it, embody it in your life, nothing will change, and you won't see long-term results. And I don't want you to just understand this. I want you to live it. I want you to literally see the results. I want you to actually feel it in your body. I want you to feel lighter on body, mind, and soul level. And also in your energy levels, in your life. And of course, that takes more than 90 minutes. And then I can feel some of you are fired up. I can see you're engaging. I can see you're ready to do this. So if you are ready to take the next step, then I would love to give you the free gift. And that is a 20-minute coaching session with me for free. Again, I told you, I'm not gonna sell anything today. So I'm gonna pop it for you in the chat box. Okay, so there's the link. I only have 10 slots available. There are a few options, just to give you some things, because obviously we need to work around our schedules. But this is not for everyone. So I really just want you to book if you're ready to take the next step. I'm going to help you implement this for you in your life. So I really have a superpower of seeing patterns, and I can really identify a shift like that for you instantly. So I know this was a lot of information. So let me help you make it simpler, and let me help you incorporate it into your life. So if you're ready, I did pop the link there. You can book now. You'll obviously, the sooner you book, let me know if you've booked as well. I would love to know. If you're ready to break the cycle, let me help you. Let me sit with you. We'll do the coaching. It's 20 minutes, and it's super powerful and intense. And the thing is, I choose who I work with. And I don't mean it in a cold way. I mean it is, we need to be aligned on both sides. Because I know what to look out for with people that I work with. And, you know, it's not always a good fit. And that's okay. But yes, I would love to get to know you deeper. I would love to make this real for you into your real life. And this is where the personal light map comes in. So your own personal structure. And I make it super valuable for you because it's really personalized. So it's not generic. I'm going to help you work around your personality, your lifestyle, the time you have, so that we can really get the most effective shift for you, and so that you can start doing that immediately. So really I'm going to make it super personalized. And that's the thing, after working with women for over 13 years, I can really quickly spot patterns. So, and the limiting beliefs, and that, you know, little voice running the show. So yes, on a call we can get yours fast. So yes, I did drop it in. Let me know if you've booked. You can just say, yes, I've booked. Ria says yes. Awesome. Yay. Looking forward to seeing you there. Amelia and Ulrika says thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, much appreciated. You're more than welcome. Amelia says, I will review again. Lots of information to take in and action. Yes, definitely. But that's the thing, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. So book your session. Let me help you, make it easier. Because obviously I do share a lot to help so that there's a golden nugget and insight for everyone. But that's the power of the coaching session, because that will really make it personal for you. And then I can help you fine tune it. Okay, so there's also the link if you want to have a look. I literally never do this. I just felt like I really needed to for this group specifically. So yes, so let me know when you've booked. I really want to know. And then of course, if you have any questions, please pop it now. In the comment section. Yes, and for those of you that need to go, sorry, I see we're already a few minutes over time, so you're welcome to leave. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your time and energy with me. I still wanted to do a little bit of a calm 5-minute relaxation, but we didn't have time for it. So yes, I did pop the link, so for those of you that's still here with me, you're welcome to go book it. Do we have any questions? You're welcome to unmute yourself. We are a small group, so that's perfect. You can either unmute yourself or type it for me in the type box. Use me, I'm here. I'll still be live for another 5 minutes or so, so you're really welcome to, if you have any questions. And of course, we can discuss your specific questions in the 20-minute bonus session. Yes. Anyone? Okay, while I'm waiting, maybe some of you are typing, so I'm just going to draw us a beautiful card. So I love using cards. It's part of my heal routine, actually. Just to get a beautiful message. I bring it in with a lot of my coaching because people just love it. And it's so weird how spot on it is generally. Maybe I shouldn't say that before. I'm doing it now. But yeah, let's see what comes up. And if you're still here with me, you can just do a couple of deep breaths. Just in and slowly out. Beautiful. Okay, who's going to say stop? You can type in the type box. Okay, wait. This one called to me. Let's see what the message is. Oh wow. Okay. Okay, this is the one I drew. Don't know if you can see. So it says, my body is a mirror of my inner thoughts and beliefs. I nourish it with good foods and healthy exercise. Okay, so that's the one side. And the other side, with every breath I take, I'm getting healthier and healthier. Beautiful, beautiful way to tie it all together with the breath that I just said, take a deep breath. So that was the other side. Yes. See? Spot on. Okay, I don't see any questions. So with that, I just want to say thank you again for staying till the end. You are awesome. And I love this work. I loved having you here. And thank you for saying yes to yourself and to your health. And I hope you learned a lot. And now you have a lot to implement. And I'll see you on the coaching. The slots will be available for the next, there are a few slots for the next couple of days. And then it will close. So yes, I hope to see you there. Have a beautiful day and evening.